Hey everybody, welcome back to CAF's Heroes of Sport. My name is Bob Babbitt, co-founder of the Challenged Athletes Foundation. Every week, we meet some of the most amazing challenged athletes on the planet, and this week is no different. Our guest, Dianne Vitkus. And Dianne, first of all, when I look at your background, you were a four-sport athlete in high school. Who can balance lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, and indoor track? What the heck? Did you have time for anything else?
Well, to be honest, I only played volleyball for I think 2 years and track for a year, but yeah, I guess that's just all I knew was playing sports and giving it your best shot.
So your older sister Lauren played at Brown, 4-year member of the lacrosse team, and then your other older sister Karen, 3-year member at Wagner, right, of lacrosse. So did you have an option of what to play when you went to college, or was that basically what you had to do?
No, I mean, my two favorite sports were soccer and lacrosse. And then I fell in love with lacrosse, and that's just always what I wanted to do. I dreamed of playing Division I lacrosse. And then I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to go to Brown and fulfill my dream. Played 4 years there and was captain my senior year. So, and yeah, it's I feel very lucky to have had that opportunity and that I didn't get injured sooner, so I could fulfill my 4 years of lacrosse and then go on to become a physician assistant as well. I went back to school, and right after I graduated, I moved back home to Syracuse and went to Lemoyne for physician assistants. So yeah,
very cool. And you, in 2015, you had 7 goals, which is that's pretty damn impressive. So take me to out of college, and you were also doing some running, and not just to get in the running. I think it was Marine Corps Marathon, and you were raising money for diabetes research.
Yeah, exactly. So after college, took a little break from lacrosse and was obviously always an athlete. So then once lacrosse ended, it's like, I'm gonna stay active. Just what am I gonna do? What kind of sport am I gonna pick up? So picked up running, did a couple half marathons, and then decided with a couple of friends that we wanted to do a marathon together. And we signed up for the Marine Corps Marathon, and my uncle, who actually passed this July, he had done the Marine Corps Marathon 20 years earlier. So it was really special to have done that and finished that. And that was just, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done. At one point, I didn't think I was going to finish that race, but just your mental toughness kicks in, and you just persevere and get it done, and then cross that finish line. And it was really rewarding. I'd love to do another one, but maybe on a hand cycle one day.
Exactly. So July 19th, not even a year ago, July 19th, 2020. Take me through what happened.
Yeah, so I just got home from work, and long day. Wanted to just enjoy the sunset, and sat down on my couch, and I looked out the window and saw the sunset. I was like, I need to go on the roof and see this better. So went up on the roof, and then stayed up there a couple hours just admiring the stars. And I love nature, and I love just being outside, summer breeze. But then on my way down on the ladder, first step, I just slipped and fell 15 feet. So I was kind of laying there because I was by myself. So laying in the stairwell, and I knew, especially with my medical background, exactly what was happening. I tried to get up, my shoulder hurt, I tried to get up, and immediately couldn't get up, knew I was paralyzed. My legs were not where I thought they were spatially. And so that was kind of a very unique feeling. And then I laid there for about 30 minutes, just started calling out for help, and someone in the building ended up, passing by and seeing me, call 911. And then from there, I was just, very aware of everything that was going on. I had a punctured lung, and took me I got some chest tubes in the ER. And I've like experienced putting chest tubes in before, so I knew exactly what's happened. I was like, all right, fourth rib down, intercostal space, I was going through it in my head. And then they said that I needed to go back to surgery. I knew that was going to be happening. And I've watched the surgery, assisted surgeons perform the surgery that I was going to then get. So it was, kind of a blessing that I knew everything, because I felt like it kind of kept me calm through it all. And I wasn't like confused as what was happening. Nothing was too overwhelming, because, I've been on the other side of it, not as a patient, but as a provider. So just tried to stay calm and go through it all. But then once I was rolling back to surgery, I called my parents for the first time, and talked to them. It was like, hey, I fell, I'm going to surgery, I broke my neck. And then I started immediately. I broke down crying for the first time. And but everything went pretty well, and was hoping to move some toes after surgery, but that didn't happen. They told me I'm a C6 complete injury. So nothing below my neck. I don't have any movement. Can move my hands, no finger function. So
the fact that you had this background, and the doctors really didn't have to tell you what was going on. Usually they have that moment where, you're paralyzed, you won't be able to move again. Did that moment happen, or you were like, listen, I know what's going on?
I kind of was like, listen, I know what's going on. I did, a couple days initially right after surgery, they're like, your spinal cord's still in shock. So that was kind of new to me. I did do like a neurosurgery rotation in school, but I didn't have a full background in neurosurgery specifically. So they told me my spinal cord was in shock, and I don't have any movement, so it could be a complete injury. But if you start gaining function, it will be, hopefully in the next couple of days. And then I started not gaining any function in my legs, my toes, and could kind of read it on the doctor's face that I'm now a complete injury. So I knew what was happening. Yeah.
As an athlete for your entire life, talk a little bit about just what you knew of adaptive sports, and when you realized that maybe there's something out there where I can still be an athlete.
Yeah, actually, embarrassingly enough to say, I didn't know much about adaptive sports. I hadn't been around it, and never really. I was so focused as an athlete in college on kind of my own sport and athletics that I feel bad that I didn't know more about it. But and then when I was laying in the hospital, I kind of remember some of the nurses that say that you're gonna still have a great life, blah blah blah. Like, look at this one individual just had the same injury as you about a year ago, and now he is playing golf in this adaptive. He can like stand with help and he can play golf. They showed me a picture of it, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, no, that's not me. I'm gonna be walking and be able to run again. And no, I don't need adaptive equipment in order to play sports again. But then kind of as I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I looked at a wheelchair as kind of a cripple, And if I sit in that, then I'm just this part of this like disabled second class citizen. And now I see that a wheelchair really is kind of a gift and a symbol of freedom and independence. And, and CAF, this foundation, gives people the opportunity to see that. And especially, I want to, go out there, be in the community, have many wheelchairs, many adaptive equipment as I can, and show people that like this is an option, and change kind of people's perception on the disabled community and adaptive sports, because I didn't really know much about it 3 years ago. So I want to make sure that anyone isn't like that and sees it. And the more I can get out there, the more I can show people, I don't know, I think the better off. And it shows people that like disabled community is a tough community, and just powerful, tenacious, and yeah.
So when you tried out a grid freedom chair for the first time, I think probably in rehab, did the light bulb go off going, wait a second, you mean I can get back on the trails again?
Yeah, absolutely. It was so awesome. Because I use a manual chair, and the two little casters in front, they really get stuck. Just yesterday, I was out taking a stroll, and I got off the path a little bit into the dirt, and then I got stuck in the dirt because my caster like got stuck. And I was exactly thinking, I was like, if I had my Grit Freedom chair right now, then I could get out of this on my own, but I had to ask someone walking by to help me get my caster out of the dirt. So yeah, I'm so excited. And when I tried it in rehab, unfortunately I couldn't go outside in rehab because of COVID regulations, so we were confined to the building. But when I tried it, we went on the terrace that Spalding has, and just like did a couple laps, and it was just so smooth, so fun. And the lever system that they have, it's great technology. The engineers did a great job, and I could just like envision myself being able to go hiking again, and explore Maine and New Hampshire and all, it's so fun being on this East Coast of New England. I mean, I'm from upstate New York, so there's tons of beautiful trails there too. And I really got into hiking during quarantine before my injury, because there wasn't, not much else to do.
Right.
So yeah, then when I got that, I just envisioned being able to get back out there.
So you applied to CAF for a Grid Freedom chair, the Freedom Chair Pro, and that's obviously on its way. But how did you find CAF and reach out to us?
Honestly, the Grit Freedom Chair rep reached out to me, and they're like, so you should apply for this grant and get our chair. And I was like, I've been wanting your chair, so yeah, absolutely, no questions. He was like, okay, so you're gonna apply? I'm like, yeah, I'll start the application right now. And then I don't know, the more I even found out about CF and everything, like I said, like John McClane's story of how he lost a leg with a motorcycle accident. I love that he's a Yale grad, Ivy League representing. And then I think he's a lacrosse player and football player, if I remember
offensive lineman, yeah.
And then he goes to go on to do triathlons. He gets hit by a car and becomes a quadriplegic, and oh my gosh. And then he continues to create CAF, and just that story, and it's so empowering. And I just like feel connected to him. Yale grad, then quadriplegic, and marathon running. I mean, he's breathtaking.
Very cool. And I don't think what people understand is when you were going through therapy, what, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, How important was that getting you from where you were to where you are now?
Oh yeah. I mean, I felt so lucky to be able to go to Spalding when I was laying in, Syracuse. We were kind of choosing our options, and Spalding came up, Boston area, New England. Right away, it was like no questions asked. Like, we're going to Boston, and was lucky enough to get into Spalding. And I'm the type of person where I wanted to work my tail off. I was ready to get out of, I spent a month in the ICU and I couldn't wait to get out of there. Like that 4th week, I was just itching to start therapy. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed in Syracuse and I could like barely even sit. And I was like, I just want to get to therapy. I just want to work. It's like all day, every day, just, I need to get better right now. Let's do it. So that being able to do 3 hours of therapy, it was just, I felt very lucky for it and was so ready for it. So I did occupational therapy usually, and then either 2 hours of PT or 2 hours of occupational therapy, 1 hour PT. And then even that, I would do exercises, on my own at night, after visitors came, stretching, anything I could. I hadn't gained any movement back, and I was just like, it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself through this?
I'm proud of myself. I've learned that I have a voice and I can be my own advocate. Your chair doesn't, just because I'm 6 foot, so I used to always stand proud. I loved my height. And pull your shoulders back, stand proud, stand up. But just because now I'm sitting doesn't mean that I can't be as confident, can't stand as proud. So I've learned that, I have a lot of perseverance.
Yep, you do.
And strength and just grit. And I think I've always known that about myself, but I think this injury has really brought that out even more. And the community that I have behind me, all my friends and family, have given me the support that I needed to just be able to power through, persevere, and find the strength within to just keep going. And every day is a new day. If you have a bad day one day, wake up the next day and put a smile on your face and keep grinding. And I'm proud of myself for that. I really am.
You are amazing. So fun to get to meet you and to have you part of our CAF family.
I'm so honored. I'm so honored.
Stuff together. You're going to empower a lot of other lives out there, Dianne. You are very special. For our audience, you prefer Vidi? What do you prefer nickname wise?
Whatever comes out of your mouth first.
Athlete. That's what comes out of my mouth first.
Thank you.
You are an athlete and a great representative of CAF. Thank you so much for taking time and joining us on Heroes of Sport.
Thank you.
Dianne Vitkus has been our guest, everybody. Again, this is Challenge Athletes Foundation's Heroes of Sport. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time.